Just a couple of points about the slide. This is a simple diagram which shows you where exactly the Zamzam water is. It's only meters away from the Kaaba Sharif right now. And this one, it gives you an indication. There's a Maqam Ibrahim. That gives you an indication of where the original source is. In the past, there used to be a large building here. You could say a cover. And there was basically a bucket. And it would go down and people would collect the water from there. As you can imagine, as technology has improved, there have been different ways of trying to extract this water. Later, in 1955, what happened was that they built an area underneath. They built an area underneath, and I will show you slides for that in a moment. The water level itself, and this is something that I read, it's quite interesting, is about 3.5 meters below the surface. In a recent test, what they wanted to do is a well, and they were pumping the water out. They do that all of the time so that you and I can drink from it. I don't know what the intention behind it was. I think they wanted to see how much water was there. But what they did is that they'd done a test by which they quickly tried to extract as much water as possible to see how quickly the level goes down and whether they can actually deplete it or not. So they'd done it at the rate of 8,000 litres per second. They started taking water out to see how quickly it goes down. This was done for 24 hours. 8,000 litres per second for 24 hours. The water level did drop, as you would expect. And it dropped to what they say is about from 12.72 meters to 13 meters. Then eventually the pumping stopped. How quickly did it take for the water level to come back up to its normal amount? 11 minutes. 11 minutes. They pumped it for 24 hours, trying to make it deplete as much as possible. It did come down, but it went back to its higher level again in 11 minutes flat. Allahu Akbar. In a country, and let's face it, we've got to remember this as well, normal wells, we've seen them back home in India and Pakistan, they dry out eventually. Some wells, they last for 50 years. Some wells, they last for 100 years. This well, Allahu Akbar, might have been there for 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years. And who knows when Qiyamah is, inshallah ta'ala, it will continue until the day of judgment. So this is the original source, you could say, of the Zamzam well. This is what I was talking about. I hope you can see it. This is perhaps the clearest indication. The Zamzam itself is there, underneath the ground. In the extensions in the 1950s, what they did was in the Mataf area, they made stairs that go downwards. And there was a beautiful large room full of taps. And in the corner, there's a lot of nods of heads. Many of you have seen the original. In the corner, there was a glass case. And behind that, you could see the pump, you could say. A lot of you have seen that. A lot of us used to go down, we used to perform wuzu, we used to pour it everywhere, put it on our ihram, drink it in abundance. They had those lovely steel cups as well. And used to drink in abundance. Lately, I think in the last 10 years or so, as part of the haram extensions and to ensure as many people as possible can perform the tawaf in peace, you can imagine that this place here, they used to get congested when they performed the tawaf. So they decided to close off this area. So this, unfortunately, now is no longer there. There's a staircase, you can see here. That's an older picture as well. Then what they did was, they did the right thing, I think. They left a marker underground so that people at least knew where the Zamzam water is. So they left a plaque, you could say. And on that's written, Bi'r Ma'i Zamzam, the well of Ma'i Zamzam. So that was there for a while. I understand, perhaps you can help me on this, help me with this. This is no longer there either. They used to have this, and I don't think so it is there. Is it, Haji Sahab? I don't think so. The reason being is that when people are doing tawaf, the temptation might be if people start looking for it. It's already congested. If people start looking for it, they slow down. When they find it, they might stop. When you stop, then the people behind you push, and there's a chance that there might be an accident of some sort. So perhaps they have the best intention behind that. They have actually got rid of this plaque as well. So the original signs of it now, unfortunately, perhaps, it is not readily available. But having said that, our history tells us that it is all there.